welcome back to the Tiny House Concierge. My name is Alaska. I am your Tiny House Concierge. And today we're going to talk about tiny house storage. So I'm very excited because this was a requested video. However, in making this video, I realized something a little bit crazy. There's actually so much tiny house storage. And it is so intricate and so creative and so cool that I actually can't fit it all into one video. So we're gonna go ahead and make this a tiny house storage series. Part one will be the living room today, but we're gonna go through the entire house together and cover all of it. So real quick, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and join us. That would be amazing. I upload videos every Saturday morning so you can tiny and brunch. Tiny and brunch. And yeah, liking, commenting also helps. All right, thank you. Let's do this. So the first place that we're going to start in with tiny house storage is the footstools. So these came, I bought my house furnished. These actually came with the house. And I am so glad that they did for so many reasons. I mean, these are footstools. These are, I'll show you in a minute, but my dining room table chairs. These are, create like a day bed situation so you can get like massively comfortable. Yeah, they're great. And they're also tiny house storage. So before I show you what's inside, quick note about tiny house living, if you have not done it yet. When you live in a tiny house, there is going to be a certain amount of what I call Rubik's cubing. So a good example is like if I'm going to do yoga, I have to take these, put them on the couch, then my yoga mat comes out. So there's a certain amount of moving stuff around to do what you need to do. It's kind of unavoidable in tiny house living. However, I would say that the goal you want to aim toward is doing as little as possible. So when you're designing your tiny house, when you're thinking through your storage needs, take the things that you're going to use like multiple times a day or daily or several times a week and make that as those things that you use a lot as accessible as possible. Minimize the Rubik's cubing with things you're going to use frequently. So given that this is super accessible storage, it was important to me that I put things in here that I am just going to be grabbing constantly. So in this first one right here, I have my tools. So got my hammer, wrench, my drill is in here, the Gorilla tape, like all of my tools are in here. If you've seen any of my tiny house meltdown videos, like if I'm having tiny house meltdown, 100%, this is open, tools are everywhere. This is like the tiny house meltdown footstool. Tools, aka tiny house meltdown footstool. So that's what's in there. This one is like winter wear, ski gear, cold weather stuff. I do ski a lot, but I also live in a cold climate and it's winter, so right now I'm grabbing things like gloves and all that, like a lot. So it needs to be easily accessible, and it is. All right, next thing in the living room that we have to cover is the couch. So I love this couch. I know I'm gonna get questions about it. It is by Home Reserve, and I will put a link to the exact model in the description below. So you can find it. I would 1000% recommend this couch. Not sponsored, but that's how much I love this couch. As soon as I walked into the tiny house, I looked around, I was like, okay, I think I could do this. I think I could do this. And then I sat on the couch and the couch was comfortable and I was like, okay, I know I can do tiny house living now. So the couch is super important, and I would encourage you to choose a couch that serves a double function. So in my case, my couch is entirely storage. Other people have a couch that like folds out into a bed. I think that's also cool. I don't think it matters what your secondary function of your couch is, but I would encourage you to have one. because it takes up a lot of space. Also, just get a comfortable couch. Side note, but just do it, please. Yeah, so couch. So all of these cushions open up, and to be honest, most of them are not filled. I have more storage, believe it or not, I have more storage than I actually need in a tiny house. But I will show you this one. So that comes off. Then there's like this little wooden thing that lifts up. And like I said, most of these are empty, but in this particular one, I have like off-season decor. So my summer pillows. I have a stupid amount, friends. I have a stupid amount of throw pillows in a tiny house. Like, I'm actually I should count them all. I think I own probably close to 20 throw pillows, which is stupid. I don't even know where they all are. But anyway, off-season decor. I've also got a rhino because, you know, what tiny house doesn't need like a seasonal rhinoceros? I think I put this in there because I was thinking through my decor choices. You know how some people get like a storage unit to put stuff in and like think it over? I have a couch cushion. This is where things go sometimes when I just need to like live without it for a little bit and think it over. So this rhinoceros I'm thinking over right now. Let you know how it turns out. And that's the couch. Also, fun fact about this couch. I'm going to do a whole series about my couch, but all the covers unzip and you can wash them. They're pet fabric, and they also, you can just get different colors. So it's a little bit of an ordeal to take the couch apart, to wash them all, but it can be done. I have done it. Oh. Did you hear that? Okay, well that leads us into our next bit of tiny house storage, which is what is behind the couch. So I'm just going to climb up here. Okay, so the first thing that I keep behind the couch is my dining room table. And I will pull it up. I'm not going to pull it out because it's kind of annoying, but it lives back here. And if I don't use it a lot, like I normally just like eat sitting on the couch, but if I were to have people over or whatnot, I will pull that out, or if I'm doing crafts. And then these go like this. And now we have like dining for four, which is great. It's a little tight, but it's not bad, friends. You get through it. And even cooler, doors are right here. So if I have people over, I can open that, and then we're basically just dining al fresco. Because the width of this is the width of the French doors. So when you open that, it's like opening the whole wall, and it's awesome. So dining room table lives back there. And actually, there's another thing that lives back there, which is the cords to the projector. So I don't know if you can see it in this video, but the projector is up here. I've got my Amazon Fire Stick, and this just pops in up there. And then you have a tiny house movie night. And the projector, if you haven't gone tiny yet, projectors in tiny houses work super well together because they're out of the way most of the time, and then it's big and dramatic and amazing. And yeah, so plus the white opens up things a lot more. I feel like the black of a TV can kind of close things in. Anyway, projectors in tiny houses, highly recommend. Speaking of projectors, that brings us to our next bit of tiny house storage, which is over here. And it's actually not behind the couch, it's just behind these cushions, just hide it well. But this is where the projector screen lives. Oh. So this comes out, and I'm not gonna put it up, but you can see how there's like hooks on the end. And this hooks up right here in front of the kitchen and then just comes down. So you get a 70-inch tiny house movie night, and it's amazing. Okay, so if we keep moving this direction, actually we're gonna adjust here real quick. I will move you. There we go. Okay, so here, I'm gonna be super dramatic here for a minute and just yank this off the wall. I could have been more dramatic about that. I missed an opportunity there. This is where my circuit breaker lives. So, or my circuit breaker? Panel. Electrical panel. Somebody tell me in the comments. Yeah, so I don't go in here often, but on the one time that I overloaded the circuits and blew the electrical, had to go in here and figure it out. So this is hidden by this nice mirror, and mirrors, friends. Okay, I'm not gonna put this up on camera. It's a little hard, but you know where it goes. Mirrors are your tiny house friend, because mirrors will really, really open up the space. They reflect light, all kinds of good things. So this is not a tiny house storage hack that I have used in this house yet, but I want to give a special shout out to the van lifers who've discovered that you can unzip pillows and put off-season clothing in it and stuff it with that instead of stuffing it with a pillow. That is the most genius thing I've ever heard of. So if you do that in your tiny house, I want to know about it. If you're a van lifer and you do that, thank you for creating that little hack. That's amazing. Like I said, I don't need to do it yet, but I keep that in the back of my mind. Okay. Oh, so the next thing, let me tilt you back here. There we go. Okay, the next piece of tiny house storage is actually hidden in plain sight. So I'm going to step aside for a moment and let you look at the living room there. Cool. Okay, so the next piece is, this is where I keep my beer. Now, this is not, if this wasn't a decorative beer, I would not have kept it up here. This is not where I keep like all of my beer all of the time. But it provides a good example of the importance of being able to hide things in plain sight. So I would encourage you, when you're going tiny, or if you are trying to declutter or minimize your tiny house as it is, try and buy things that you use a lot, and try and buy versions that you find aesthetically pleasing. And the reason for that is if it's pretty to look at, if it's soothing, if it's artistic, you can store it in plain sight without driving yourself crazy. So I have more examples of this when we get to the kitchen version of this video, but yeah, anything that you can use and doubles as art is great. So if you go down, actually most of this I use. So the salt lamp provides light. It's decorative and it has a function. The sugar sticks are just decorative. The candle I can use and it's decorative. The beer I can use and it's decorative. And then this is my little incense thing. Again, I can use it and it's decorative. So functional decor goes a long way in a tiny house. All right, friends, I think that's it for the living room. Ooh, wait, no, bonus content. Okay, I'm gonna tilt you up here. I'm actually really proud of this one. Okay, so up there you see the sheepskin rug. Yes, okay. I had a sleeping bag hidden under that for like 4 months. It's anything that you need that's like fairly flat, that you just need visually or actually out of the way, up there is a great place to store it. Just pop it under that rug and it's like it doesn't exist, which has been great. That area, actually, let me tell you a little further. That loft is actually a storage loft. There's no egress window, so there's no, in a fire, there's no window that can be opened and escaped from, which makes that not a legitimate bedroom. However, and so I believe it was built originally for storage. So if you see that like brown bar up there, that was designed as a clothing rack, and the original owners of the home had like off-season clothing hung up there. Personally, I didn't have that much storage. I'm just me in here, so I didn't need to use it for that purpose. And visually, I just like things to be aesthetically like minimal. So I call that the guest loft. I don't know why. It's not a bedroom. No one should sleep up there. But yeah. Now you know my secret. There are sometimes things hiding under that sheepskin rug. Okay, friends, well, that brings us to the end of our tiny house tour, living room edition, tiny house storage tour, living room edition. There we go. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so that you can have tiny house like videos and brunch together with us on Saturdays. And yeah, in the comments, let me know if anything surprised you. Also, let me know what your favorite storage place in your tiny house living room is. That I would really love to get further ideas, because people are so crafty. People are so crafty. Okay, thank you, friends. This is the Tiny House Concierge. I will see you in the next video.